Hi, let's look at two examples of different type of orders. We've looked at several. We looked at routine order. We looked at a PRN order as needed. We looked at order that requires you to check something, check blood pressure or check blood sugar, and we said that you have to make sure that that thing that you're checking has to be recorded on the MAR. So there has to be a prompt to check pulse, a prompt to check vitals, blood pressure, a prompt to check blood sugar. That way it will be recorded, because you want to make sure that those vital signs or this blood sugar, for example, are within the normal range to the parameter, the stated parameter to give the medication. You don't want to give the medication blindly without checking. For example, you didn't check the resident's pulse, which is the heart rate. Doctor says don't give the medication if the heart rate is less than 60. And you don't know if it's 50 or 40 that day. Then you give the medication. Remember, the medication is supposed to lower the heart rate. That's for people with high heart rate, or in the case of blood pressure, people with high blood pressure, the medication lowers it back to normal. So if it's within normal range or within that stated number that the doctor said don't give, then you don't give. That's why you check. So now this the first order we're going to look at here is an example of an order whereby the doctor or the nurse called and said you should give one dose of something. Maybe the resident complained of pain, and you check the MAR and there is no order for pain medication. You call your delegating nurse and he or she says, go ahead and give one dose of Tylenol. A dose of Tylenol is 650 milligrams. One pill comes in 325 milligrams. So here's an example. Let's try to zoom in a little bit. So here it says Tylenol 325 milligram. Per tablet. Take 2 tablets, which equals 650 milligrams by mouth now for pain. So this is not a routine order, it's now. It's also called stat. You can also say times 1 dose. That's your schedule. So if you look at the 5 things that should be in a prescription, the name of the medication is Tylenol, the dosage is 650 milligram, the route is by mouth, the schedule is now, 1 time only. For pain, it's not to be given, it's not to be used again. You cannot use it later in the evening. So we assume that this order was given around 6 p.m. So whenever the nurse asks you to give that medication, that's the time you're going to put on the hour and then give it. And it's 1 time only. You cannot give this again the next day or in the morning. Then you would sign your initial, and very important that you draw your arrow to the 11th, to the 10th, pointing to 11th, and then you also draw the arrow on the opposite end to show that it's a 1-time dose only. That's 1 dose. You sign for it 1 time, and that's it. If the doctor wants like a PRN order of Tylenol, then it will be a separate order that says, Tylenol every 6 hours as needed for pain or fever. Then it will be PRN. It will be whenever they ask for it. If it's within 6 hours of the last time they asked for it, then they can have it again without you having to call the charge nurse. The second prescription example that we're trying to show here is just like a little bit technical, in terms of how you set it up. So here, and a lot of people that are on dialysis take this medication, Renvela. So here the doctor says Renvela 600 milligrams by mouth with meals. That means you have to schedule it when they eat so that they take it with food. You can also use snacks to give them the medication. You give them snacks to eat or food to eat before you give them the medication. So here, Renvela 600 milligrams by mouth with meals 3 times a day. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays only for kidney failure. So let's look at our 5 information. Name of the medication, Renvela. Dosage is 600 milligrams. The route is by mouth. But there's an additional instruction here. It has to be with meals. So you can't give it on an empty stomach. The schedule is 3 times a day. And it's not every day. It's 3 times a day only on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And the purpose is for kidney failure. Now, how do you set that up? Well, you come here on the hour. You determine your 3 times a day. So your 3 times a day will be 7 a.m., 12 p.m., and 5 p.m. Right around meal time when they eat their meal. Then, this is the month of April. The order came in on the 11th. The 11th of April happened to be a Saturday. So you're not giving anything on that Saturday. You're not giving anything on Sunday either, because the medication is only scheduled for Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's it. No Tuesday, no Thursday, no Saturday, no Sunday. So what are you going to do? You're going to look at the calendar of the month of April. You're going to cross out the days that the medication is not being given. So for example, the 13th, the 12th, the 14th, the 12th is a Sunday, 13th is a Monday, 14th is a Tuesday. So you cross out the days that the medication is not supposed to be given. You leave out the boxes on the days that the medication is supposed to be given, so that the CMT giving the medication can sign in those boxes on those days. So for example, on the 13th, which is a Monday, this is your 8 a.m. box, and your 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 5 p.m. So you have those 3 boxes there where you would sign there. Then on Tuesday, they don't get the medication. On Wednesday, they get it. On Thursday, they don't get it. Friday, they get it. Saturday and Sunday, they get it. So you'll just look at the calendar and cross out the days they're not supposed to get the medication. That way, nobody gets it. If you don't do this, what's going to happen? The medication will be given every single day. And then that will be an error, a huge error. Okay. So those are just 2 additional examples of medication. There are different ways. Other ways that prescriptions can be set up. And whenever you have any question, you are in doubt, always call your delegating nurse. And you can call us at the school. You have our numbers. You have any question, you have any issues while you're at work, give us a call. Okay, thank you.